Hello there everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we have the brand new P7CB and P770 irons from TaylorMade to have a bit of a look at. So not only am I going to review these irons and hit them in here and give you my opinion on them, but I'm also going to fit myself in the process of doing that as well. So we're going to start off with the shaft that comes in these as standard, so the Dynamic Gold 115 in both of these heads. We're going to hit some shots with them to start with, get a bit of a baseline, and then kind of go through the process of how I would fit an iron for somebody and also, you know, make both of these irons perform as well as I can get them to for me. So we're going to be doing that throughout this video. First, let's have a bit of a chat about the tech of these irons. So let's start with P770. So the previous iterations of this iron have been extremely popular. It looks great, it performs great, and it kind of suits very different levels of golfer. I've had people from sort of mid to high handicaps fitted into these, as well as low handicap golfers as well. So it's kind of that package that looks really nice when you sit it down. It's not got a particularly thick top line, but it's absolutely packed with technology. So the refined shaping, better turf interaction, and FLTD CG, that's a mouthful, for improved launch and spin. New P770 have been forged to deliver better feel, more consistent performance throughout the entire bag. One of the ways that they've done that is by optimizing the flight. So the launch and spin are essential to hitting consistent iron shots, and this TaylorMade FLTD center of gravity and precision milling on the club face create high launch with the long irons and lower launch and higher spinning shots in the short irons. I think the shaping is the first thing that brings people to these irons, particularly your kind of better player who maybe wants that bit more forgiveness, or maybe, you know, struggles to get the flight that they want on the irons now, and P770 kind of delivers that. When we move on to P7CB, you'll notice the name has changed as well. So it was P7MC, so the muscle cavity is now a cavity back. Now I think this looks absolutely fantastic. It actually reminds me of some of the old RAC irons that were out years and years ago, with this kind of section in that cavity on the back, almost right behind the hitting area as well. We'll notice in these it's got a slightly slimmer top line, the sole is ever so slightly narrower. Each solid body forged club head undergoes 2,000 tons of pressure to deliver the purest 1025 soft carbon steel possible. And the result is the ultimate feel and consistency in an iron. We've actually got some tungsten in the sole and also towards the toe area to kind of move that CG and make it that little bit more forgiving and precise. Obviously, control is the name of the game when it comes to precise iron play. The face and the grooves of P7CB are precision milled to promote ideal launch and spin for maximum control with every club, and we can see that milling on the face when we look closely there as well. It's got that classic sort of tour shape that we love, the nice rounded toe with that slightly slimmer top line than we saw in P770. So now we've had a bit of a look at these irons, let's give them a hit. So now I've been able to hit a few shots with both of these clubs just with the standard shaft. So I've gone extra stiff, which is what I would always use, but it's in that Dynamic Gold 115 gram shaft here. So it does feel a bit light when I'm swinging it. So I just felt the control wasn't particularly good for me when hitting these irons. I think they both feel fantastic off the face, particularly P770. There's one there that you can just see that I've hit a lot further, but a lot more left. It just came off like an absolute rocket. It's gone absolutely miles. But in terms of the total distances, they're pretty similar. So, you know, they're within a yard of each other. So as you'd expect, they're both the same loft at 33 degrees. So it's more of a traditional sort of loft in a 7-iron that we're seeing with these. The P770 is carrying a little bit further, but for some reason I'm getting a bit more club head speed out of it. I don't know why. It did feel a bit, I could almost feel the head a bit more because it was a bit heavier, so I don't know whether this is going to change when I put a different shaft in it. One thing that I've noticed in them both is that they're turning over a lot from right to left. So what I'm going to try and do is kind of a combination between changing the lie a little bit and also changing the shaft, just to give me that bit more control. I'm going to get something that's a little bit more robust, something that I know that I've used in the past, and that is going to be KBS Tour. So the KBS Tour 130, obviously heavier, 15 grams heavier than what we've just been using, should give me that bit more stability. I'm also going to get it in the length that I need as well. So 1/2 inch longer than standard is what I I generally have in all of my irons. So let's make those adjustments and we're going to hit them again. So now that we've stiffened the shaft up, added a bit of weight to it, and also changed the lie, we can see, I'll just put the kind of dispersion up on the screen. I've only hit 4 shots with it so far, but what we can see is it's tightened it right up. So now I've actually picked up a couple of yards as well. So so this is P7CB again. So before we were 182 as an average, now we're 186 as an average. The carry has gone up as well, but more importantly, that kind of precision aspect that we were talking about with these irons, where I'm starting them more on target, that slightly flatter lie is making them start slightly more to the right. So that just shows you, sometimes we can get a perception of an iron and a club that we hit that's either negative or positive, and it can be just down to how it's set up. The one that you've tried, it might be a shaft that doesn't suit you at all. It might be one that really does suit you. So I'm also seeing very similar results with P770. So a reminder, we've made this 1 degree flat, it's half an inch longer, and we've gone 130 gram X in the shaft. So the other shaft that we put in, the Dynamic Gold 115, was extra stiff as well, but it was half an inch shorter than this, and obviously standard lie. So we're 1 degree different in the lie, half an inch different in the length, and 15 grams heavier in the shaft. And we're just seeing a hell of a lot better dispersion. You can see very quickly there, just by making a couple of very simple adjustments, I've made an iron a hell of a lot more consistent for me than it was just getting it straight out of the box. So there are people out there, I don't understand why you even play the game of golf if you go and buy a set of irons off the rack, because you are nuts. Go and get properly fitted. We can see there straight away how that's changed the way that an iron performs in literally about 10 minutes worth of just taking a bit of time, getting the lie right, getting the length right, getting the weight of the shaft right, so that you can deliver it more consistently. Right, let's get out on the golf course and see exactly how these clubs perform. So now that we're out on the golf course, we're going to hit a few different shots from those sort of yardages that we were seeing on the trackman. So around that 180 to 190 yard mark. So I'm here on the 11th at Howley. I've got 181 yards to the flag here, and I've got the P770 to start with. So yeah, obviously this is an iron that is made for that player that needs that little bit more forgiveness but still wants a club that looks nice, and certainly in that playing position it does look really, really good. When we sit it on the ground, yeah, behind the golf ball, looks really, really nice as well. Certainly an iron that, you know, kind of gives you a bit of confidence whilst also looking pretty good as well. So we're going to hit a few shots from here with the 7 iron and see if we can get somewhere up near that flag, hopefully. But yeah, certainly what we saw inside was when we weren't hitting the middle of the face, we were still getting decent ball speed, we were getting that little bit of forgiveness, and certainly it was doing everything that it says it's designed to do. So let's see what it's like out here. Really nice high flight on that. Felt very powerful off the face as well. Yeah, it's up there, it's on the green, just on the left hand side. Let's hit another one. A little bit better for line. Yeah, it's just on the green there again, just slightly further right this time, but certainly felt really, really nice off the face. It's quite powerful, very easy to launch as well. It's actually surprised me at how high that got. It is into the breeze a little bit, but yeah, they climbed really, really high. Really nice flight on the shots too. Let's go hit a few more. Right, P7CB this time. So we've got a very similar shot. Much lower flight than what we were seeing with P770. Certainly wasn't what I was seeing really on the trackman, but yeah, it's definitely a more penetrating kind of ball flight that we get with this. Really nice feel, as you would expect off the face. Feels that little bit better, in my opinion, than P770. Just, it's kind of that more player's look and feel to the iron, but certainly sat behind the golf ball, it kind of suits my eye a little bit better, but also the strike off the face does feel that little bit better as well. So to truly put this iron to the test, I'm going to do a tin cup test, if you like. I'm going to play it all with a 7 iron. I've got the 12th hole here at Howley. It's 375 yards off the white tee, and I'm going to play it with a 7 iron. So let's see how we get on. So the one I've chosen is P7CB. So hopefully we can get something to the corner and leave ourselves a shot into this green. It's as hard as I can hit 7-iron. That's all right, it's just on the left. It's good, it's in position, we can get on from there. So because I went after it a little bit off the tee, I missed it a little bit left. So we just, you know, I've left myself a really easy shot now into the green, not. So we've got these trees, obviously, to try and keep it underneath. You can see there's trees in the way as well, so I've got to get it under these, over those. And then we've got the pin on the green, and it's about 180 to the flag, so it's a pretty good 7-iron, but let's give it a go, eh? I'll tell you what, it's a pretty good effort. I might need to get down. Wow, it's come out like a rocket. Let's have a look. I think that's on the back of the green. That's literally the best strike I think I've hit with a 7-iron for ages, but we're a bit big, so we're gonna have to chip now, which obviously isn't a big deal with a 7-iron. It's kind of quite a good club for this job. See if we can make our par. That should be all right from there. See what it's like to putt with. So we started with both clubs in their standard setting, we then fitted them, we've come out to the golf course, tried them, and we've even played an entire hole with one of the 7-irons. So pretty comprehensive in terms of the way that we've tested this golf club. Absolutely loved hitting them as well, particularly P7CB just feels awesome. I really like the look of it. And I think both of them are that little bit of a step up from the previous model as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed that video. I've certainly loved getting out in the sunshine and testing these. Leave us some comments below, let us know what you think about these irons. Are there ones that you're desperate to try? You're going to go out and buy a set? Go and get fitted first. See you all very soon.